Have you ever wanted your bitch to cook for you? You tired of coming home to pizza and fucking raviolis? Well, today, Professor Sweet will tell you today how to manipulate in a non-damaging way. Actually, this benefits you and your girlfriend. You get a bitch that know how to cook, and y'all get to spend quality time together. Let's get into it. So for this method, it's basically an investment. Unfortunately, the way investments work, you put your money there and you hope it grows in the future. Not saying this is a 100% success rate, but I'm saying it's about 80 to 90%. I think it's pretty good and it's a pretty good tactic. Essentially, the way you want to set this tactic up, you want to buy a cookbook. Now, with this cookbook, you don't want to just give it to your bitch and be like, yo, you need to cook. Here, take this. Throw the book in her face, smack her with that shit. Don't do that. Because one, women do not like being told what to do, especially modern day women, because they grew up with bitter women from the past who say you don't need no man, you can make your own decisions, things of that nature. So they're already coming in the relationship thinking that they don't need you and don't need to prove themselves. So you trying to force them to do something is not gonna work. So you need to cater to their feminine side, or the way I would phrase it is being gay. Not really being gay, you're just taking more of a affectionate angle when you come at your woman. Now, could you come at her and be like, hey, listen, you're not cooking. I want you to start learning how to cook because I want this relationship to last. Could you come at it a nice angle? Yes, but like I said, first thing I said, first rule y'all need to learn in the manipulation Bible. That's what we're gonna call this shit. Women do not like to listen. When you tell them not to do something, they probably gonna do it. If you tell them you don't care, they probably not gonna do it. That's just how this shit works. So that's number one. Bitches don't like to listen. So the way you're gonna set this manipulation tactic up, you're gonna buy a cookbook and you're gonna come to your girlfriend and say, hey, I found some nice recipes in this book. Also, if you wanna set this up and make it more believable that you're buying fucking books, tell her you're going to the library every day and come home with a new book. You don't gotta read the shit, but just come home with a new book so it look like, oh yeah, he's actually reading and shit. Cause you don't wanna be a nigga that leads with not reading and then now all of a sudden you have a cookbook. Now boom, you get your cookbook and then you go through it with her. She gonna see all the nice food and you be like, hey, why don't we every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we pick 2 recipes and we cook the shit together? That's how you want to set it up. Togetherness. That's what you want to lead. You don't want to make her do it first by herself. She's not going to want to do it by herself. If she wanted to cook, the bitch would have already had a cookbook and she would have already been cooking. Boom. After you do that, now, like I said, it's like investing. It's gonna take time for this shit to build up. So first, you're gonna do it on the weekends only. Saturday and Sunday, you're gonna cook, boom. Also for extra effect, basically reinforce her ideas and make it seem like your own. So if she made a spaghetti that's in there, for example, right? And she's like, yeah, I really like that spaghetti. You say, I really like that spaghetti too. Or you be like, hey, you think what I'm thinking? Let's make that one dish that we made that one time. Let her answer first, and then you make the dish that she wants. Get her to find her favorite shit that's in there. That way, she'll have shit that she's comfortable making, and then you don't really have to do much work. The objective is to not make a 5-star chef. The objective is to make a girl have basically 5 dishes that she can make consistently that like you're fine with eating for the rest of your life. Now looking for somebody that can make a big range of dishes. You only looking for 5 dishes she can make. Bare minimum. I think that's a good minimum you should, strive for. Now, after you get this cookbook, you're cooking for Saturday and Sunday. You extend it to Friday now. Yo, let's cook on Fridays when I get home from work, blah, 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 blah. For whatever reason, you gotta have to come up with the conditioning. Once you start cooking on Fridays, maybe you say like, yeah, I want to enjoy our weekends together. So how about we just cook a lot on Friday instead when I come home from work, and then we could just eat leftovers for the rest of the week, or cook during the week when we need to once we run out of leftovers. Something like that. So now she's used to cooking on a weekend, you just transition it to a Friday instead. Then after that, this is the perfect pivot to now basically giving her her own independence. Also, another thing that you could do to make it more believable, or not more believable, but make it more to where she's cooking on her own, is be very bad at cooking on purpose. So like cut shit weirdly, fucking put too much seasoning. You gotta have to sabotage the food. Not too much, but make like tiny rookie mistakes. You don't wanna seem too good at the shit, cause then she gonna be like, oh, why the fuck am I cooking when he could just do it? You wanna seem bad at it So then she's like, you tackle her woman pride, basically. So then she's like, man, move out the way. Let me do this shit. You want to basically make it to where she feels like she's superior in this field. You don't want to make it seem like, yeah, I'm better than her at cooking. No, she has to be better than you to where she wants to do it. To where she's like, yeah, I don't want this nigga in the kitchen no more. I'm gonna have to do that. You gotta have to set that up throughout the weeks. You gotta have to be bad at it. Now, after that, right? You setting the shit up. Now it's on Friday. Now you want to slowly take longer to get home. So things like, oh yeah, they're asking me to stay longer. Can you just start prepping the stuff, like cutting the stuff up, and then I'll help you finish it when I get home. Shit like that. Don't do it all the time, like back to back to back. Just implement it sometimes. Like, so if you're cooking like once a month, or not once a month, if you're cooking like 4 times a month, 3 times a month, right? So every Friday, do it like once a month, maybe twice. I feel like twice is stretching it. You get what I'm saying? Keep it varied. And then this will give her the confidence to just start doing it by herself. 1, you suck at cooking. You already showed that. 2, you're asking her to basically prep the stuff already. And then you just take longer to get home over time. So maybe, for example, you start off coming home later, like 10 minutes later than you usually would. And then you just slowly increase the time every time you do it. So on a combination of you just being ass, her finding, so ass like you don't know how to fucking cook. On combination of you not knowing how to cook, you coming home later, things of that nature, she's more likely to take the initiative in cooking, and she's gonna find recipes that she likes. And if you let her basically choose what she wants to make, she'll find in no time 5 that she wants to make. In general, all you're doing with the method is just slowly opening the door for her to learn how to do it. Then once she's finally figured out how to learn how to do it, she'll want to start doing the shit by herself because you don't know how to cook. You keep coming home late. Basically, you're just gonna piss her off eventually. And then eventually she'll just wanna just say, fuck it, I'll just do this shit myself. Now, unfortunately, this isn't a bulletproof way to keep her to cook by herself forever. Not even just women, people in general. People aren't gonna do what they don't wanna do. If you don't wanna cook, you're not gonna cook. If you wanna cook, you're gonna cook. That's just how it is, simply. All you're doing is just teaching her how to do it and basically making her comfortable doing it by herself for you. If you still want it to continue and her to still cook, you're gonna have to still put in the groundwork, like still cooking with her and spending that time with her, maybe on the weekends, on Fridays, things of that nature. It's all about balance. You can't just completely, stop doing the shit with her, because then she's gonna notice and then she's not gonna wanna do it. You're gonna breed toxicity within your relationship. So you're gonna wanna still do this shit, unfortunately, until you have kids. Like once you have kids, or like if you have like a really stressful job, then maybe you can just give her all that responsibility. But for the most part, you're gonna have to still do that shit with her, especially if she's not cooking now. Like, my word of advice, get a girl that already knows how to cook and has good values when it comes to that. Not what I will say is, if she has a job and you have a job, it's fucked up it's fucked up for you as the man to expect her to basically do all the housely work. If you split the bills, you split the housework, which means you're half of a bitch. That's just simply how it is. Now, if you're paying all the bills as the man, but she still has a job, and she chooses to have a job, and she doesn't have to go to work, then that's not your fault, but you need to discuss certain things within your relationship. If you don't mind cooking, you cook. You get what I'm saying? But if you're both not cooking, then somebody has to take on that role, and you can't just eat out every day because that's not healthy for you. This manipulation tactic isn't really for just like getting what you want, but it also benefits the relationship too, because now you both have a skill, you both know how to cook, because you'll learn how to cook also. You both know how to cook now, so you'll be able to make healthier food, which means you'll be able to live longer because you'll be healthier. And then you can also still get newer cookbooks. Maybe you can set a rule like, hey, let's not just stick to the same stuff that we've been cooking. How about we try this? As the man, you need to take the lead in the relationship. And this is just a tactic that you can use to take the lead in your relationship to get your girlfriend to cook. But that's basically the manipulation tactic. It will take some time. It's not gonna be some 1 month thing that you do. Like I said, it's like investing. If you're gonna be with this girl for a long period of time, which I hope that's the case, because why are you getting in a relationship if you don't see yourself with this bitch? You might as well just fuck her and kick her to the curb. Don't really give a fuck about her like that. But if you plan on seeing yourself with her a long time, or if you plan on seeing yourself with her for a long time, then it's better for you to just try to make this shit work. It'll probably take around 6 months to a year, I would say. It's a rough estimate. Depends on how, like, willing to learn your bitch is. If she's not really willing to learn, she's a bum, she's lazy, this shit not gonna work. She has to have some type of work ethic for this shit to work. But that was the tactic. It's been your boy, Sweet Sue. Make sure you comment some manipulation tactics you have, or things I should teach you how to manipulate. Maybe your bitch won't give you no ass. I can help you with that. Put things that you need help with when it pertains to your relationship. At the end of the day, manipulation isn't this bad taboo thing. Everybody gets manipulated in the world. It's just that you have to balance the manipulation. Just like how children, they try to manipulate their parents by crying or throwing tantrums to get what they want. Just like how parents, for example, manipulate their children by telling them that, you know, I'm not mad at you, son, I'm disappointed, or things of that nature. Everybody's trying to manipulate everybody. You just need to keep it balanced 50-50. Don't let somebody overly manipulate you, and you shouldn't overly manipulate somebody else. And when you manipulate people, it shouldn't be for strictly your benefit. It should benefit both parties. So for this particular manipulation tactic, it benefits you and it benefits your girlfriend. You never want to manipulate somebody to where it doesn't benefit them at all and it only benefits you. Unless you're a super villain, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, like, share, comment some shit you need help on, and I'm out.
TTP is what I